Ba-dum bum bum bum.
Slap back, Jack Frat. Slap back, Jack Frat.
Slap back,
Jelly Frat.
slap back,
Jelly Frat.
slap back.
Ready? So we're going live in 5, 4,
1.
1. Hello and welcome to Slapback Chat Frat, the internet sensation that literally everyone is talking about. Don't pay attention to the view counts on the YouTube videos. They are extremely misleading. We're mostly sharing it on Bebo, so that's why the numbers are perilously low.
View counts are in tens of thousands, Joe. So when you see 22, that's actually 2 million.
The thing is, Dave, we're being targeted by the media. It's basically fake news. They're afraid of the messages that we're spreading. So there's a lot of fake news. Don't believe it. We've got a great podcast. It's one of the best podcasts.
And it's got the biggest audience, isn't it, as well?
Everyone says so. So yeah, don't take any account of the fake media. Welcome. Anyway, we're going to get on. We're going to play a few games. We're going to talk a bit of shit, and that's basically going to be the next hour. I would like to kick things off with talking about Paul McCartney. How about that?
Very nice. He's stopped dyeing his hair.
He has stopped dyeing his hair. That is big news because the last time he stopped dyeing his hair was about 1983, where he let a bit of grey come through. So he's finally bitten the bullet. Yeah. Do you think it's working for him?
Well, it's definitely aged him in a good way.
Yeah, I'd say. Silver Fox.
Yeah, rocking the silver.
But not only that, but he's released a new album, which is been #1 in America. Which Russ, you'll know the exact thing about this, but it's his first #1 album in America for 35 years. Is that right?
36 years.
36 years. So good on Macca. He's been on an absolute media offensive.
Yeah.
Couple of revelations come out in his kind of media whore campaign. Did you see the thing about him masturbating?
Masturbating,
yeah.
I did see that, yeah. I think that was when his publicist called him up and said, look, Paul, the hair has got you to #5 in the charts. The hair was fucking brilliant. I mean, if I deserve a pay rise, now's the time to put me in because the hair has got you up there. But if you are going to get above Jason Derulo and Nicki Minaj this week, we need to take it over the edge. We need a wanking story. Have you got anything that you can do? Otherwise, we're at 5, and that's it. And you're not going to get any more headlines. You need to go big and go bullshit. What have you got?
So he pulled out his Rolodex, scrolled to W, and said, "Oh boy,
oh baby."
Pulled out his autobiography, went to W, empty.
When's the index?
So the wanking story is he revealed exclusively this week that him and John Lennon and a couple of other mates used to have communal wanking parties.
Oh wow!
Yeah, where they would all sit around and just. I wonder what was going through his head that he thought. You know what? I'm 76 and I haven't shared this story.
This is great. You guys are gonna love this. It's 2018.
Yeah.
Me and Lennon, eyes on eyes.
I was going to say, I wonder what was going through his head at the time in the room with 5 other blokes, really just eyeballing.
Yeah. Well, what the game was that they would it was partly who could finish first, and they would shout encouragement to each other by shouting out names of people that they liked, like Bridget Bardot, or at the point of climax. And apparently John Lennon used to ruin it for everyone by shouting out Winston Churchill.
I told you it wasn't just us that did that.
Yeah. But I was just kind of like he's really been on the media trail. But
He's gone
Like-
hard. Yeah.
Paul McCartney has about 7 stories, and he kind of. I watch a lot of Paul McCartney on YouTube, a lot of interviews and stuff, and you know when he kind of begins an anecdote, you're like, oh, it's number 5, oh, it's number 4. You know, he kind of recycles a lot of the same, you know, even kind of intonations and stuff. So I was very surprised that he'd A, managed to keep on hold of the wanking story, but B, that he thought, yeah, I'll just let this one go now. I've kept this a secret for 70, you know, for the last 50 years, but I reckon now's the time to tell everyone about the communal wanking.
That's excellent.
Number 1 album.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked though, didn't it? It worked.
Absolutely.
It's gonna start a trend, I imagine, for pop stars.
Yeah, they'll all be talking about their wanking stories.
More power to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the difference is though with Paul McCartney is that he's talking about a story from 50 years ago, more or less. I think if on the flip side, if
Kaiser
Cardi
Chiefs.
tell you about something that happened that morning,
Yeah.
hasn't quite got the same cachet to it, unfortunately.
I would.
So
I'd still click on a story about the Stereophonics having a wanking party. I'd still be interested, and I'm not ashamed to say that might make me buy their album.
It's top of my Google search.
Yeah, you're just waiting for the time that when you put the speech marks around it, so that you get your exact Google search, Stereophonics wanking story. Waiting for the time that gets a Google hit. In other Paul McCartney news, he's released a single, possibly his raunchiest single ever, called "Fuck You," F-U-H and then U, and in the chorus, it's very ambiguous, but it sounds a lot like he's saying, "I just want to fuck you," and to the untrained ear, that it sounds like he's saying, "I just want to fuck you."
Yeah, I thought that.
Right.
And that's been getting a lot of hype.
Who's the in the narrative of the song? Who is the object and who's the subject here?
Well, the song starts off by saying, "Come on, baby, now, let me talk to you. Think something about yourself. Try to tell the truth. I could stay up half the night trying to crack your code. I could stay up half the night, but I'd rather hit the road."
Okay.
On the
Is
night
he's talking to his phone?
he might be. And then it goes, "On the night that I met you." This is my favourite line, and it seems kind of not that interesting on the face of it, but it says, "On the night that I met you, you were on the town," and I really like that line because it's like a 76-year-old man going, "What are the cool kids say these days? On the town, you know."
Kanye West, what's a cool phrase?
Yeah, how do the kids talk about going out to the discotheques these days? On the town, cool. Yeah, but so he's and he's also it's also with a kind of super producer who produced like I don't know, Casey Perry and people like that. So it sounds very. It's got like a sample in the background that sounds like a high-pitched chipmunk. It's got a bit, you know, it's like it's like a 76-year-old man with quite a creaky voice, kind of over quite a heavy beat and modern production, talking about fucking people. That's
the bottom line, isn't it?
But I think good for him.
Well,
Can we expect to hear Heather Mills doing a version of "You Right Back"?
I mean, I think the ambiguity in the song is obviously the key selling point, isn't it? Because you don't quite know who he wants to fire you to at any point. You know, is it? Lots of women could be on the town that night. They're inscrutable. A code needs to be unlocked.
Yeah.
They're his baby, so there's some sort of, he's already familiar with them, perhaps a friend, or a cousin or somebody. We don't know.
I mean, he's addressing it to the listener, so maybe he's saying, "Look, all of you, I want to fuck all of you."
And then, of course, there is no actual consummation. He just wants to. Is this all a dream? Is it just a wish, or is it a reality?
I mean, we
Again,
need to.
not it.
That's
All
the craft. All of these are good. All of these are good questions, and all of these need to be answered by Paul
They need
McCartney.
to be answered, yeah.
Yeah.
We should get him. We should get him
Throw
on
the
the show,
wank
shouldn't we?
story out and sales through the roof.
Yeah, I imagine we could, tempt him into a young, up-and-coming podcast.
Paul, what you need right now for your career is come to us.
If you come on this podcast, we can all wank together, Paul. We can
we can
relive the
live
glory
stream it.
days.
Yeah, let's live stream it on Twitch.
I feel like this might actually be a new feature that we should have on each podcast. Is we delve into one of the
I wondered where you're going with this.
I'm in. Whatever it is, Russ. Whatever you say.
Tie me up.
we delve into one of Paul McCartney's love songs, and we
Yeah.
just get underneath the surface and really flesh it out and see what's happening.
I could not agree more. Have you got a suggestion for the next song we could unpick? Sea
I
Moon?
think Live and Let Die would be a good one to start with.
Okay.
It's very rich, lyrically very rich.
It's a tapestry.
It's a fine tapestry of you're young in your heart.
Open book.
Open books. I mean, already that's thrown up quite a lot of imagery.
Yeah.
Who's talking to? Again, a woman, a man,
Yeah.
a colleague. You've got an open book there. It's
Cousin.
your diary. Cousin.
Who is Paul McCartney's cousin? Derek McCartney.
That's something we can look into.
Oh,
So yeah, okay, well that's good. Well, we've got a new feature from that. That's fantastic.
Paul McCartney's lyrics. In other news, obviously,
Just to interject, Check My Machine would be a good one. Week
he
one.
does. He does only say "check my machine" in that song.
Well, that's it. That's the enigma, though, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of layers there.
A lot of layers, repetition.
Yeah,
Means something.
we could do. Why don't we do it in the road after that?
Okay. Yeah.
In other kind of bizarre news, obviously we don't get too much into politics on this because we're all hashtag Brexit.
Yeah.
But in a increasingly bizarre twist of events, the news today was dominated by Stormy Daniels' description of Donald Trump's penis, which obviously that's what everyone was waiting for from her book. Is like, yeah. But
come on, spill the
come
beans.
on, what does it look like? So, and I quote, smaller than average.
Yeah, but
is,
not tiny.
Not tiny, but smaller than average.
Yeah.
But there's a feature.
What's the feature?
Hashtag Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition Switch.
Correct. Do you have a quote in front of you, Joe?
I'm just getting it up now, actually.
And what about the quote? Hey! Oh, I'm out of here. I'm done. That's me. That's my best line.
Yeah. So she said that. Okay, so this is interesting. So she describes Trump's penis as smaller than average, but not freakishly small. She says he knows he has an unusual penis.
There's a lot in that.
Yeah, I mean, you could unpick that quote for a while. Yeah, he knows he has an unusual penis. It has a huge mushroom head, like a toadstool. And then she said, I lay there annoyed that I was getting fucked by a guy with Yeti pubes and a dick like a mushroom character in Mario Kart. It may have been the least impressive sex that I've ever had, but clearly he didn't share that opinion. So there we go. I mean,
why was she annoyed though? What did she expect?
Yeah, you've gone into that. You've gone all the way down that path, haven't you? And
you've got to think that's going to happen. Once you get past that certain stages, you just got to go through with it. I suppose she could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's great advice to women out there in this era of Me Too.
Listen, love, listen up.
I don't think we should be putting up the message of you've just got to go through with it.
We want to know exactly why she was annoyed, though. That's not what she's clear about. Was it just because she was bored?
Well, the thing is, so she said I lay there annoyed that I was getting fucked by a guy with a mushroom dick and yeti pubes, but she presumably she saw the penis beforehand.
Yep.
It wasn't like she just kind of felt it inside her and went, mushroom shaped. Like there was no surprise there. I mean,
she made a visual assessment and then proceeded.
Yeah, and then lay there going, this isn't good.
It begs the question that which computer games character would be a good character.
Phallic shaped. Yes. Well, there's a whole segment on its own.
Bomberman. Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, yeah.
Donkey.
Which Mario Kart character would you want?
What are the Mario Kart characters?
There's Yoshi.
Mario.
Princess.
Luigi.
Princess. I mean,
Yeah.
that's if you're into that.
Yeah, that's I've nicknamed mine Princess Toadstool for quite some years now. So
I mean, Bowser would be.
That's
Spiky. I don't know if that's what you want, really.
Spiky, yeah.
Um,
There's loads of Mario Kart characters. There's loads of the buggers.
That was all the talking points I had for this week. Trump's penis, Paul McCartney's wanking story.
Okay.
They're all a little bit lowest common denominator. I'm sorry about that, but when I'm doing my daily search for penis news, that's what I got.
top 2 hit.
Yeah.
Elon Musk news. He has he's getting sued for claiming that British diver is a pedo. It's pretty exciting. He's also
That's a funny name, isn't it? Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a flavour of Link's aftershave. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
I'd wear Elon Musk.
Yeah. The ladies go wild for Elon Musk.
It's an improbable name by someone who is clearly only exists in the imagination of a spy thriller writer. Like if ever it comes to be that he takes over the world.
It was obvious, wasn't it?
It was always going to happen. He's fucking Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I like the idea that if we were to have a sort of British entrepreneurial tech-based firm, that the CEO would probably be called Dave Java. That would be the equivalent of an Elon Musk, wouldn't it?
Could we just invent a kind of equivalent British character without kind of? We can just tweet about it. We don't have to have any of the inventions. We can just say, I don't know, Barry Inventor, or I don't know what a good name is.
Very English name.
But like I've invented a super battery made out of human hair. Says Barry Inventor from the UK.
I knew I was going to be an inventor from the day I was born.
We should.
I think that. Yeah, I think. Well, who have we got? We've got James Dyson. I mean, he's a pretty cool guy. He's a pro-Brexit guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we love that. Yeah.
So for that tick for us.
I was going to say, do they have to have surnames which are flavours of Link's deodorant?
Probably.
I think that would make sense.
I think Barry Titanium is a good name for a British inventor. It mixes the low with the high. But first of all, what could Barry Titanium's inventions be that we can kind of entice the public with? And the company's also got to have a kind of a name like you would give one of the teams on The Apprentice. So, like. Go on. No. You go on.
Well, didn't Elon Musk? His thing was he was trying to get a submarine to go into the Philippines or wherever it was to help out some young boys.
Yeah.
So Barry.
Yeah, and then the mining disaster happened, and he was like, "Oh, brilliant!"
So Barry
It
Titanium.
started off well tonight, Russ.
Barry Titanium would probably be helping out a local five-a-side football team who've got into trouble on their bus journey to East Tap House. So
Yeah.
he would be coming in to fix.
But what's the vehicle that he'd be sending? A tank?
Pedalo.
Hovercraft? Yeah. I've donated a pedalo to East Tap House football team. who've got stuck on a boating lake. But the pedalo has to have something about it which makes it kind of
It's got a trailer.
techy.
Solar powered.
It's
Nuclear
Bluetooth pedalo. It's got Bluetooth speaker capability.
Under the water.
Yeah. But there's also got to be something from Barry Titanium that he's planning to do with the moon or some other planet, because like that's what they all want to do. They want space is the thing.
Yeah,
So-
space.
Mine it for cheese.
I think Barry would definitely need to. We need to land on the moon.
Yeah, but
start.
that's quite pedestrian though. He's got to do something like it's got to be like, Richard Branson wants to do space tourism. Like
Okay.
Barry Titanium could, I don't know, want to open the first Wimpy on the moon, or I don't know.
Yeah. What Barry Titanium could do is he could open up. So as you'll know, there's a lot of technology firms that are based around retail, and they're suffocating the high street. So you've got places like Debenhams, and what else has recently closed down?
British Home
Maplin,
Stores.
House of Fraser.
British Home Stores.
CNA.
Exactly. Correct, CNA. So what
Radio
Barry Titanium
rentals.
does, he opens up a high street on the moon
Brilliant.
of all the 80s and 90s stores that Amazon
Oh,
cannot have
Rumbelows.
any jurisdiction.
Woolworths.
Right, so
Yeah,
It's a
bring back.
revival, renaissance.
Because if you were gonna there needed to be a reason to go to the high street. What better reason than to visit the moon as
Go
well?
to the moon.
And go back
Yes.
to the 90s.
They've got a lot of parking up there, so lots of space.
The world's
Yeah.
biggest car park.
Free parking too.
Blockbuster, you could pick up your videos there.
Exactly.
I mean, the one he can't have is obviously Virgin Megastore, because he hates Richard Branson, because they're
But he would have one Virgin Megastore.
Well, I think he would call it something like Virgin Megastore. It would be very similar, but he would, to get around copyright issues.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that would make quite sense then to have an English high street on the moon.
Yeah.
The first street.
Barry
I
Titanium.
I also think he should go head to head with Richard Branson and release a soft drink, but like a kind of a soft drink with science technology within it, if that makes any sense.
Like
Nano
Mbongo.
What's
Mountain
that?
Dew.
Nano Jew.
Nano Dew.
I do like Mbongo, actually. I like
What about
that.
this
I haven't seen
Mbongo?
that for a while.
Yeah.
What's that? Sorry, Russ.
Mbongo 3D.
And Bongo food.
It's quite futuristic, and it comes in 3D.
The first 3D
And,
drink.
The first 3D drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be
Well, I
like it could be like a magazine, and the person's looking at it, and they're going, "Oh, it's got an advert of a drink in it," and they're like, "Oh, this is crap," and then a hand smashes out of the magazine and
Yes.
breaks the can into their face and goes, "Bongo."
What about Wi-Fi milk?
Milk would be amazing.
Milk would be good. What's the password though? Do you have is it on the label?
Yeah.
You've got to drink it, and it's at the bottom. So you drink it, and then it's revealed at the bottom of the can.
Maybe
and then
That's the
maybe
code.
maybe it just imparts the knowledge to you through once you've completed drinking it. Ooh, it's Fazilk.
Or you could have a sort of instead of a backpack, you could have a fax pack. It's a fax machine.
about a Bluetooth
So
a Bluetooth fax machine?
A portable fax machine. That's all the world we want.
So if you've got a message that you need to send from the moon, you just write it out, and then it goes through.
Oh, 1 second. Oh.
Or you could,
You could.
as he's a British entrepreneur as well, you could have something based around tea, because that's obviously very British, like 3T, which is like tea but 3 times the strength.
Yeah.
With electrolytes, obviously.
And a USB drive.
Yeah. UST?
USB-T, yeah.
USB-T.
Would it have a firewall on it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, obviously, Russ.
It would be on fire.
Well, you wouldn't want any viruses getting into your tea, so you could have the rim could be on fire, as you say, with the Wi-Fi connection, and then kill any bugs. Get that fax sent off through the fax pack, and then get into your free parking for a lovely day on the Moon High Street.
Brian Titanium.
Barry Titanium.
Barry, that's it. Yeah, that's his
Barry
brother.
and Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They should be brothers. Actually, what are we thinking? They should be entrepreneurial brothers. Barry
They're
and
like the
Brian
Winkle
Titanium.
brothers from the Facebook movie.
Oh my God! Should this be a movie as well?
I think we should definitely revisit Barry and Brian Titanium and their attempts to best Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Well, we can just catch up on Elon Musk in the news next time and see what Barry and Brian would be up to.
Well, the other thing Elon
come
Musk
back
that he's done recently is he was caught. He was filmed on a podcast smoking a joint as well. Ooh.
Very controversial.
Yeah, maybe Barry could do some smack or something.
Well, of course, it was totally legal where Elon was in California smoking
He could do it in Scotland.
But you see, that would be for Barry. That would be not enough, because he's even more techie than Elon. So he could be caught doing smoking cannabinoids.
Yeah, I like it.
Which is like cannabis, but
Digital.
but made of pixels.
Working his way through some pixels.
Yeah. Yum, yum, yum.
Okay, I think it's probably time for a game now. Are we agreed?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. Who's got a game they want to share today? Me. Okay, great.
Okay. That's yeah.
I want you to all check your Facebook messages and/or your Skype messages. Have a quick look on those,
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop.
and you will soon see everything that you need to for this game of the Rustler.
Oh. Oh God! Not another The Rustler.
New content. Fresh, keeping it fresh and real.
It is. I saw it being made. It's so fresh. It's super fresh.
I mean,
Okay.
it's so fresh. It's barely born.
It's extremely fresh. And now, if you just keep an eye on your messages, just as we go on, and I'll start off the quiz. And what we're going to do today is, because I think the whole show's got a bit of a sporty theme to it, from what I've gathered. This Rustler is about the London Olympics 2012. What a great time that was for Queen and country.
And what a great time to do this! To do this as a theme. It's so relevant.
It was really seamless and fresh and up to date and just ticks all the continuity boxes.
It just felt like the right time to honour the Olympics of 2012. It just.
Yeah. Too many people were doing it at the time, or shortly afterwards.
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
a little bit of a break before you can really truly see the valour, the skill, and the victory that went into.
Majesty. We haven't really done anything since, so.
2012 was the last time that England was not racist, isn't it? Just before, isn't it? I think that's the last occasion.
Yeah, it wasn't coming home at that point, was it?
No.
Even though it literally was hosted in London. Okay, so first question this is for all contestants here today, so just pay attention closely.
So just quickly, Russ, for those who don't know what the rustler is, how does the rustler get played? Obviously,
So the
everyone
rustler
knows.
works like this. One of the contestants has been is the rustler, and if you're the rustler, you need to guide the other players towards your answers. There may be some other nefarious activity going on with some of the other players. There may be some switching of the rustler to non-rustlers as the game goes on, but that will become clear. And the most points will be gained from correct answers and guided answers by those who wish to seek the correct answers. So, first question.
Excellent. That's clear.
Yeah.
We'll have the rules in the comments later on.
Yeah. Okay.
What? Now, there were a lot of gold medals won at the Olympics 2012, particularly the Team GB. What I'd like to know is, what are the Olympic gold medals actually made of? That goes to the floor. That's to everyone.
I actually know this.
That's odd.
I know that they're mostly not gold.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I think that's right. I think there was
Some of them are gold.
some weird.
Oh yeah, the gold ones are gold, but the other ones, like the silver and the
Yeah, I'm not
bronze.
talking about the silver medal. I'm talking
No,
about the gold ones.
Well, this was a big controversy at
Yeah.
the time because
Mhm.
they're mostly not gold, even though they are the gold medals. I don't know what they're made of though. I can't remember.
We sold all our gold, didn't we? I remember that back in the 90s. Sold all our gold, so I'm imagining that we have to make them out of. I imagine they were much like those chocolate coins that you get at Christmas. It's foil on the outside, and they're actually made of dairy milk.
That is very true.
Just-
I watched a I can't think what it's called, but it's one of those like how is it made, and they did the Golden Globes, and they showed how they make the Golden Globes and the finishing
Chocolate.
and the yeah, it's just chocolate, but it's also had on it how they do the gold medals, and it's actually something really small, like a small percentage is like 1% or something really tiny. It's like 1% coating of gold over the medal.
Well,
I think
okay.
actually, I think it
But
was
it's just around the outside, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like gold plated, basically.
yes, absolutely, yeah. It's
Gold plated chocolate.
It's just gold plated. It's just chocolate and then gold covering. I think they were
Okay.
actually made of a
So we're
lesser
just going to get
material.
towards that. So just if for a percentage of how much of the gold medal is actually made of gold percentage, are we all agreed on what are we saying? 5%, 10%?
It's tiny. It's really tiny. It's the surface. It's like literally it's about 1%. About I don't know. I wouldn't want to specifically say the number, but it's very
Really?
Well, but it's tiny. It's like I don't know how you would say the number, because it's just the smidgen of it. It's like
But actually, no, but that's not true, because that was the story, wasn't it? That was the story at the time, that like there was this controversy, but they had to. The Olympics committee had to put out a statement proving
that they were more.
like that what they were like mostly gold.
Yeah.
Oh, so the medals,
Because that
so they were actually the whole medal was gold.
most of it, yeah. But at the time, so that was the story that got put out, that they were like 1% gold or something like that. But then, so they were forced to like melt one of them down or something like that.
Okay.
I used to feel sorry for the poor person whose medal that was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was.
There's a memory lost.
Yeah, they. So I don't know. Yeah, I remember that it was like it's mostly gold, but they had to put out a statement saying, that,
It was
like,
actually all gold or something.
or most of it. I don't know, but that was the rumor at the time.
So it's
Shall we
not.
say-
It isn't gold plated, because the thing that I don't know if this is the same. I don't know if this is like true or not. But the thing that I saw was literally they just get covered in like a sheen of gold. So it's like a tiny percentage. It's like the
Spray
it's like-
paint.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
but
It's
that-
not.
that was-
It's not spray
that-
paint. It's literally dunked in a. It's like I think it's like a silver medal that's literally dunked in a coating of.
So you
Well,
can scratch
it's,
it off,
it's,
it
some,
would
it's,
still
some,
be-
it's something.
still-
It's some lesser metal. It's like a. It's like
Somebody
a much,
over-ordered on the silver medal.
Yeah,
so
I think we're only going to have silver wins this year. I think it is
Okay,
literally
okay,
just a
okay,
coating. I think
Okay,
it's just
so
a.
there's been a lot of discussion, so we're gonna have to get towards a number. So I think from what and the way that the game works now is I hear all of your views, and then I come up with what I think is a reasonable answer, and then I just want you guys to give me the nod on that. And it sounds like probably a reasonable answer is 8% gold and 92% silver. Sounds like what we're all agreed. Are we agreed?
Well,
No,
Joe
it's-
reckons it's like entirely gold. So you think
No,
the whole thing is like a
It's-
gold?
It's
is
not
it
entirely. It's not
is it
entirely
coated
gold.
or is it made of gold or is it a coating of gold?
I don't remember this. I don't remember the exact story, but I remember that they had to prove that it was more gold than not.
The thing I
Okay.
watched was recent.
So we've got two contrasting views. Dave, I think we're going to need a final decision here because I'm getting some opposite views. What are you thinking?
All I will
Well,
say is literally I watched a How Is It Made and it was recently done. So if it's unless it's like some new, unless you're saying like they did.
Yeah, it's brand new. The thing I saw. Yeah.
I watched it. I think I watched it
Joe's
like
watching it at the
last
moment.
night.
Yeah,
I think
it was
I think
literally.
I'm watching it
I'm just-
right as I speak on my phone. No, okay.
Yeah.
If you're sure that you've seen,
100%.
so you're saying it's 100% gold.
I'm keen to move this on because it's
Yeah,
really so on the assumption that there's no chocolate involved, I'm going to say that it's more gold than not.
Okay.
More gold than not. Okay. That's the first answer. Accepted. Thank you. Okay. Second question. The London Philharmonic Orchestra were responsible for the anthems. Now, what I'd like to know, just fairly quickly from you guys, is how many national anthems did they record? And for a bonus point, how long do you think that took? You can just randomly guess, because it's highly unlikely you're going to know the exact.
Joe watched something on this the other day, didn't you, Joe?
I'm watching it now.
Are you watching it right now? I think if Joe remembers correctly, Joe, what was the thing that you watched just the other day about this?
I'm still watching it.
Right now,
I've got
as
a
we
screen
speak.
here.
What
Well,
was it? Can
surely
you remember?
they only recorded one national anthem because we only have one national anthem. So why? Do you mean they were recording for all the countries or just England?
The Philharmonic record all kinds of things, don't they? So they record for lots of different things.
But what was the question though? How many?
The question is, how many national anthems did they record, and how long did it take?
They only recorded England's. presumably.
The London Philharmonic.
Yeah, because each country records their own.
Each country
Their own
records
national
their own
orchestra.
thing. Okay.
Is this something you've read?
Yeah, I told you, I just watched it.
Oh, you watched it. Oh, it was a watching.
Okay. So
Each country has their own
The London
national
I
orchestra.
Joe's
I
answer
have
would be one.
an
Dave,
interesting.
what do you think? How many do you think they probably recorded?
I think they recorded all of them because surely it's the London Olympics, and the Philharmonic, they don't do a great deal, so they'd want to get involved and
So you
have all
think
of
they're
the
recording
countries.
the Brazil samba stuff? Come on,
I think
mate.
you'll find the
Come on,
Brazilian
mate.
national
Come
anthem
on,
is not
mate.
samba.
Get
I mean,
a
that's
clue.
highly, whatever the word is, to just naturally assume that the Brazilian national anthem is samba, and
It
B,
I've
that
heard it.
Right,
the
racist.
Philharmonic can't deal with samba. I mean, they've got steel drums, they've got all the instruments, and people that can play them too.
I actually know somebody in the London Philharmonic because of the drummer. No, I genuinely do. The guy who who's in my band, John Mitchell. He's in the MU. He's also friends with somebody who was in He's in one of the early Star Wars films, but he's also part of the London Philharmonic. So I know that they record lots of national anthems. They don't just record. Their job is literally doing they get hired to do lots of different things.
Okay, so let's go.
You can't take the risk. You can't take the risk that in the medal ceremony you're going to have, say we win, and you're going to have this beautiful "God Save the Queen" recorded by the National Philharmonic, and then you're going to have the South African national anthem recorded by Steps.
No, it's each country have their own orchestra do their own national anthem. Are you saying that South Africa are not
ABBA
able to
ABBA do
record
the
their own.
Swedish one. I mean,
It costs a fortune
Well,
to have every.
Dave, ABBA are not currently in operation, but if they were, fuck yeah, would they do the Swedish national anthem? That would be awesome.
It costs a fortune to have every orchestra come over, so they just literally just get the London Philharmonic to do it.
Why would they have to come over? Every country has their own recording facilities.
No.
I thought when the medals are won that the anthems are actually played live at that point. So
no, because
I assume there was just a load of orchestras. They were all ready.
The question was how many recorded. So it's not about being played live; it's about recording. So if you've misunderstood the question, you know.
This sounds like we're being rustled, Dave.
I love the idea that, you know, until the last minute that they know who's won, all of the orchestras are waiting in the wings just to be called, just in case.
Yes.
Oh.
But I also particularly love the idea that, like, some of the lesser countries who win nothing, that the orchestra just sit there for the whole time going,
fucking rubbish. We never
anyway,
win.
so my answer is that I think that they just recorded the English national anthem, or possibly of Great Britain's national anthem.
I can tell you the answer. I can tell you the answer, having had this exact conversation, because we record we do our band practice in the Mount Charles in a band room
in the Philharmonic.
No.
In the Olympic Stadium.
No. not at all. But like, I have literally had conversations about the Philharmonic on not a regular basis, but I have literally had a conversation about the Philharmonic, which I suspect you probably haven't.
He suspects you probably haven't.
Yeah.
Go on, Dan. Your number is.
It's hundreds. It's like hundreds of national anthems.
Hundreds.
All of them. Yeah. In which case, all the countries of the world, I would say 138 countries of the world.
How many countries are in the world? Yeah, that's the answer.
138 and 1. Okay, excellent stuff. Moving on to the next question. Very good answers there. So this question, what I will be asking you is quite a simple one, actually. Now, London has hosted the Olympics a few times. I'd like you to tell me how many times and in which years. So it's quite simple. Off you go. Joe.
I don't know. I don't know. I know it's more than one, but I don't know how many. 3?
Okay.
How many times have we hosted the Olympics? Is that the question?
Yep.
Yeah.
And in which years?
Which years?
I don't know what years, but I know it was more than one. So
this is like a pub quiz question.
How long has the Olympics been going
I'm sure
for?
I've had this. Since 1896, I think, the modern Olympics. This is where my pub quiz geek knowledge kicks in. I think we definitely did one near the start, early 1900s, and I think we did another one. I'm trying to go back through. There was one in Berlin, wasn't there, in 1936 when Adolf Hitler, and then before that would have been
won the 100 meters sprint. Yeah,
Adolf Hitler. Yeah, multi-talented dictator. I think did we do one after the Second World War?
We didn't. We've only done it. This is a pub quiz question, and I do know the answer actually. It's twice. We've done it. We've literally done it twice. We've hosted the Olympics twice ever. It was literally like one of the early ones,
including 2012 or excluding 2012.
Including 2012, it's been twice in England.
Okay.
Because if you think about how many countries there are, to get round even like slightly, even some of them, you're not going to get many goes around. How many times has it been in America? How many times has it been in any of these places? It's not loads. It
was in Atlanta. It was in Los Angeles.
How big is America?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, but not. There are lots of countries that have never hosted it.
Yeah,
but major kind of countries that have been involved in the Olympics since the start, because it was the modern Olympics, the 1896, because obviously the Olympics existed before that, but that was an English reinvention, wasn't it? The modern Olympics, it was by an English guy.
So we were top dogs back then. So we definitely
So
did one.
that's why we've done it a few. That's why I think we've done it more than twice because it was the reinvention was an English thing.
I think there was one after the war. I think there was one.
I actually have proof of it.
That's right. I actually.
Well, no. I can tell you the proof. It's really easy. You know when you look at if you look at the Olympic when they do the Olympic ceremony, yeah, they actually tell you. They actually give you who's had the country each time comes out and does the amount of displays is based on how many.
Yeah, I
times
remember.
It
was 3, wasn't it?
No, it's twice. It is twice.
It was 3.
We get two.
I do actually remember like really clearly.
It's really funny because I actually have the proof of it. If you watch any of the if you watch any of the Olympic ceremonies, you know they show you how many they've done because you get
it's
to
they
do with
say England 3.
What I want to know now, we're narrowing down, but I want to talk
you're
about
saying
proof.
3, I'm saying 2. We're in the middle, aren't we? That's quite close, isn't it?
2.5. Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah, I'm saying we co-hosted one of them.
Okay, so we're going with.
I think it was England and Wales. Did one.
Yeah, with the rest of the UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Gloucestershire.
This is a bizarre thing, but you know I was saying about the Philharmonic. The same person has a tattoo based on the Olympics, and it's got like the two. It's got like a two. It's got the two. It's got the
Wrap
two.
it up, Russ. Wrap it up.
We're gonna go with 2.5. Final question. Final question is now. There's actually quite a lot of costs involved with the Olympics.
Yeah.
I would like you to tell me how much money streakers were fined for the 2012 Olympics.
I know the answer.
You know this, right, Dan? Your Philharmonic mate told you. Right?
I felt my Philharmonic friend knows the answer.
Didn't he get fined for doing it?
I think he did.
Is his name actually Phil Harmonic? I mean,
It is Phil Harmonic. No. I do know the answer.
but all joking aside, I do
No
actually
jokes.
know the answer to
No
this.
jokes. No jokes.
Okay.
It's
It's not. It's enough that
£500.
It's enough that people wouldn't do it. It's quite a lot of money.
It's got quite a significant figure.
because
substantially.
Someone had to go
shames.
to court in the Olympics because they couldn't pay it.
Okay.
Someone streaked in I don't know, was it
The
shot
pool.
put? No, yeah, they just did a naked swim. No, someone streaked in the shot put and they had to go to court because they couldn't pay it.
It wasn't in the shot put. It was in the one which Jessica Innes does.
Ennis.
Ennis.
Was it?
You know the multi-event.
Heptathlon.
The multi-event.
But I don't remember, but I remember that it was all a bit of fun, and then it was like, oh, actually, I can't pay it because it's too much. So it must have been quite a lot.
It's like
Okay,
it's
so
like
let's-
at a guess it's about $30,000 or something. It's quite a lot.
Dave,
What's that in pounds?
Why would the fine be in dollars?
41
if it's 2012.
£41,000 or something. I don't know.
So £41,000
Well, it would be $30,000 worth.
or $30,000.
But
Dave,
but it wouldn't. Yeah, but it would be in pounds.
50
because it's in
pebbles.
England.
50 pebbles.
I think it's
Jared?
basically it's about 1 to 1 in dollars to pounds at the moment. It's not much difference.
No, it's not. It's 1.15 or something. So it would be about £41,000.
Let's say I'm going to go for about 30. Well, if it's 1.5, let's say about
1.15. It would be. About,
I'm going to say about £30,000. It's not too far off. No.
It would be about $30,000. It's about $30,000. Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're talking about England,
If it was pounds, it would be about £41,000. Yeah. It's about $30,000. Yeah.
Wrap it up, Russ. Wrap it up.
Yeah. But obviously, they wouldn't do it in dollars. So.
We're all agreed on that one.
About £30,000. Yeah.
About $30,000. Yeah.
But yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that concludes today's wrestler. Very well played.
Okay, so who won that, Russ?
The result
Because I'm not quite sure how you
Yeah.
in scoring something like that.
At the end of the podcast, the results will be given at the end of the podcast. Very well played. Okay, next item.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Hold on.
as we haven't been together for a little while, we haven't had a catch up. So, has anybody had anything exciting happen in the last month or so?
Yeah.
Not really.
No. Okay.
In all honesty, I went on holiday. It wasn't exciting, but it was enjoyable. But I've
Where
got
did you go?
zero anecdotes.
We need Ollie, don't we? Ollie is our Ollie. Once a month, he's got a story, isn't he?
If we need someone who's going to potentially get kidnapped by a murderer and driven around in a taxi before getting raped, you need Ollie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. You should definitely watch that, Russ. That is a great Ollie story.
What was it? Where was this, in England?
No, it's in when he's
No, it was in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, Texas, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He-
the girl wanted to see his
Produce.
Jizz?
Produce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She made him
Donald
get
Trump.
his.
He got his.
Yeah.
He got his.
Being bored and disappointed.
He got his little butter mushroom out.
Even Ollie thought it was weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
alarm bells
Yeah, this
definitely
has been-
ringing.
Well, she
Weird
kept.
beyond belief.
She got him. She drove. She was at a club in 2 a.m. She made him. She said, "Do you want to come back to my place?" He said yes, and then she said, "Well, you not until you show me your cock so that I know it's the quote the produce is good."
Yeah.
So he did,
He passed the
And then-
test, surprisingly.
and then she got him into the car, and she said her home was really near, and then she just drove around a long way out of the city, and after about 30 minutes in the car, he started to get pretty panicky, and so I think he faked a phone call or something like that. And
I like that he left it. at half an hour.
Ring.
It's Ollie.
Mine.
oh wait, no, that's me.
People.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything like
Oh, right, okay.
my life is not as interesting as Ollie.
So we don't run out of time, and I think we are going to get close to running out of time. Should we skip to the writer's room, because we've got a little bit of stuff put in place for it?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, Russ. So last time we were talking about writing a sitcom of some kind, and basically we got as far as some protagonists, which made me chuckle. One,
Crisp.
Clint and Crisp.
T-Bone Boomtown.
T-Bone Boomtown, yeah, that's right.
Janessa Watt. Daryl Montague. Triple Barrel Daryl. TBD.
Or
Trip
Bada.
Trip Bada. But Trip Bada is his nickname for himself that he tries to enforce upon others. So yeah, we
And
got.
tell me about Janessa Watt second. She's an aspiring cam girl, part-time baker.
What's her name?
Shanessa Watt.
Janessa Watt.
We were on fire last time.
I can't see us improving on this. I
No.
really can't.
So that's the first part. So create some characters, right? And so the conceit was that Clint and Crisp is a failed rock star. He had a band in the 80s, and he used to be part of a New Romantics, full makeup, haunted gloves and all. They had a hit that reached number 38 in the charts, and now he works on the cheese counter in Morrison's.
Okay.
Did we have a name for the band?
No, so
I don't think so.
we should flesh out some of these things. So he had some hit songs, which included Loverboy Boogie and Dance Girl Dance, and he came third place in the run up the Eurovision after Bucks Fizz. I don't know if that fits in the timeline perfectly or not, but
Slightly overshadowed by Bucks Fizz that year.
yeah. And there's an agent in town that Clinton reckons may be able to revitalise his career. He's from America. He's cool. He uses hands-free phones, and we aren't sure why a big agent would be in Morrison's. He may.
Well, big agents like cheese as well.
Yeah. Well, this is what you. These are quotes from you, Dave. So you said what we're not sure why he's here. So there there's some reason, some secret reason that he's come. Maybe he's a charlatan taking the piss. Shanessa Watt is the love triangle. She's in a love triangle between Daryl Montague and Clinton Crisp. and she's in.
Who's Daryl Fortescue Montague again?
He is either the manager of the store or the line manager to Shanessa and Clint. So he's this overpowering. He's like someone who just basically makes Clint's life hard work. And there's and Shanessa Watt is an aspiring cam girl, part-time baker. She's the love interest. She's in the love triangle. She makes constant sex puns about her baps, which become more and more explicit and less pun. And then
what I quite like is I've just seen the opening line, the opening scripted line for the show.
Yeah.
Shall I read that one out?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Well, you can tell Ed Sheeran, I don't get out of bed for less than 1 million Topangas. If he doesn't write the next Galway Girl Quick Smart, he'll be Prince.
Yeah.
Cork Woman.
The woman that floats.
Cork Woman, the woman that floats.
Obviously, that's quite.
So that's what T-Bone. What's his name? That's what he's saying, right?
T-Bone.
We need a response to that, do we?
T-Bone Boomtown.
T-Bone
Boomtown.
So, using the story circle, Dan Harmon's story circle, people start off in their comfort zone, and their comfort zone would be, for example, maybe this in this Morrison's, and there's this like love tension between the two, and then they have a need or desire. So Clint's need or desire is to revigorate his music career, and also maybe use his music career to kind of woo Shanessa. And then he gets into an unfamiliar situation. So maybe T-Bone says I can, so encourages him to kind of do something to get with the promise of becoming famous. Something that he's uncomfortable doing. Maybe he has to leave his.
Oh well, how about this? So he was in a new romantic band.
Yeah.
Perhaps T-Bone Boomtown, so perhaps they split up acrimoniously, and perhaps T-Bone Boomtown wants him to get back together to reform the group, but there's a lot of bad blood within the group. But he said, perhaps the promise is kind of is dangled in front of him that I can get you on, whatever label, or I could get you on
party ball.
What's that? Sorry, Russ.
It could be for the Morrisons' Christmas party ball. T-Bone.
Yeah. If you get the band back together, you can play that ball.
Yeah. I think it's got to be slightly higher stakes. Maybe it's like the equivalent of America's late with Jules Holland. Some kind of prestigious thing that maybe there's some reason there's some underhand reason.
Yes, there's got to be some underhand reason why he's doing it, but I like the idea of him having to kind of go groveling back to his new romantic friends who have
maybe he left the New Romantics to forge his own solo career, which basically failed heinously. But he left. He was the one that that everybody kind of went to, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm leaving. Fuck you guys." Left on his high horse.
He thought he was going to be the big breakout star. Perhaps he was convinced by the manager at the time. So first of all, what could be the song that he left the band to perform that he thought was going to be his big song? What could that have been called?
Cry Over My Face. It was a ballad.
I'll write it down. Cry Over My Face.
But I also think.
Oh, can I just amend that slightly? Can it be called Cry All Over My Face? Just ever so slight tweak.
Well, it was actually Cry Over My Face and then in brackets, All Over My Face.
All over my
face. Bravo!
And I think the prize, the goal that they should be working towards is that T-Bone has Zoe Ball's phone number, and he has a contact for the Zoe Ball weekend show on Sunday morning, and he can get a slot on that show.
What's the underhand reason that T-Bone wants to manipulate Clint? What's the what's the kicker?
He fancies Zoe Ball.
And he's gonna bring her. Zoe Ball's like, you can suck my titties if you bring me the new Romantics.
The best new band, because she and him back in the day were quite close, and he's never got over her.
What's Zoe Ball's dad called?
Johnny
Ball. Did he used to present any kind of Top of the Pops type stuff?
No.
It was Johnny Ball Explains It All, wasn't it?
Could there be some reason why Zoe Ball would want the new this new romantic band back? Maybe she's
they need a name.
I like the New Romantics, or like some play on that.
The Nouveau Romantiques.
Yeah, maybe some.
Yeah, I quite like Nouveau Romantique.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the. Actually, no, just Nouveau Romantique. And Zoe Ball is a massive fan.
Her dad is a massive.
Yeah, she grew up listening to a lot of Nouveau Romantique, and T-Bone thinks that he can get into her pants by getting Clinton back together with Derek Cedric and Bob Mall, the drummer.
Derek Cedric.
It's like a surprise bash.
Can their first hit, the one that actually got semi-big, be called something like Je voudrais le romantique nouveau?
Alongside, it was an EP with Loverboy Boogie and Dance Girl Dance.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen back to this. This is gold. What about if the twist is that T-Bone gets Clint to do it, but Zoe Ball wants Clint. Clint's not interested in Zoe Ball, but Clint wants Shanessa. But Shanessa falls in love with. She's in love with Daryl. Maybe she's in love with Clint as well. Maybe she's alright.
Where does I'm a little bit confused about the story. Where does Daryl Fortescue Montague come into it?
Well, Daryl Fortescue Montague was gonna be the part of the love triangle between Shanessa and Clint. So it was originally going to be Daryl was going to be the person who was going to be making Clint's life hard. And
so what's his backstory? What does Daryl Fortescue Montague want?
Well, there was a sentence which said they all go to a party that ends with an ecstasy-fueled sex orgy, and T-Bone is live Snapchatting it to his 1,000 followers. That was going to be maybe the opening scene of just the show. Just they're all just like
of every good program. Well, Daryl Fortescue Montague, being the boss initially, he curries Shanessa's favor. Clinton's the kind of failed, sad, famous once, but obviously with T-Bone coming onto the scene, talking about getting the band back together and this spot on Zoe Ball's show, Shanetta's like, hang on a minute, maybe this is my guy. This is the guy that I need to go for. So she starts to lean delicately towards Clinton's face, and therefore making Daryl incredibly jealous as he's losing her. But obviously Clinton, he hasn't got this money yet. He's still got to work. So Daryl, well, he's just pissed off.
I think Daryl, can he be? Because Daryl Fortescue Montague, it sounds like quite a posh name. So I reckon at the moment he doesn't have a lot of prospects, but there's the potential that he's the heir to a pork pie fortune.
I feel like Daryl Fortescue Montague's a bit of a.
I think that's gone under the radar. That's awesome.
I like the idea that like his granddad, is a pork pie millionaire, and there's the potential that he's going to inherit the pork pie fortune.
But not.
I mean, does he just own a lot of pork pies, or does he make them?
No, his granddad.
He owns the license to the pork pie tin shape. So he never actually made pork pie, but he licensed the packaging.
Yeah, like the Tetra Pak family.
What
exactly.
about?
Is it? They're like the Fray Bentos tins, that shape.
But his business is taking a real hit since the Scotch egg has really taken off. which is threatening the pork pie dominance of the savoury meat snack of choice.
His family are the pork
So
pie.
Daryl
What
was
is
in the army, a reservist, a territorial army, and he was trying to work his way up to impress his granddad, but he sustained an injury, which meant then he went into supermarket management, and he's now hasn't got any money, and he's trying, as you say, to impress various people. And that money, the prospect is there, but nobody knows about it because he doesn't want people to think that he's inheriting money. He wants to show that he's earning it.
So Shanessa doesn't know that he is the heir to the pork pie fortune.
No, but now that Shanessa's taking a shine to T-Bone, he's starting to drop hints.
Taking a shine to Clinton.
Clinton, sorry. Daryl is starting to drop hints that he might be in for a large amount of money, and that he
Like leaving
is
pork
to
pies, like leaving pork pies in her locker.
And going and say things like, "Oh, I ate a lot of pork pies. My family love pork pies. These pork pies.
If you want pork pies, I've got pork pies. All
Yeah.
the pork pies you want.
Yeah. Why don't you come round to my house? I got some pork pies. We could
He
share."
stands at the till with 8 pork pies, and he motions over to her and goes, "Expensive these. Don't worry about it." And he just sort of moves on.
And then wipes his arse with a pork pie.
Can I make an amendment? There's a thing called pork farms, and they make pork pies with pickle on the top. Could he be the heiress to the pickle pork pie millions? No.
Yep.
That died.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fuck off, Reed. Okay. Well.
Okay, that's perhaps we need a bit more dialogue.
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe less dialogue.
5-minute montage at the start, perhaps.
Yes, I think we have to have a montage.
I like the thought of the whole thing opening with like our main protagonist on the like a kind of a far shot, and as it gets closer and closer to his face, a song comes over the tannoy, because supermarkets are always playing music over the tannoy, and it's their big, it's his old band's big song, and so you kind of see his face kind of recognition and fall, and then some kind of, so in that kind of first 30 seconds you get the idea that he's working in a supermarket and he recognizes this song. Perhaps someone could say something to him like
the song is called 2 Shirts, 1 Lie, Hawaii Trip Havana, something like that.
Could it be?
He still wears his new romantic makeup, so a single tear falls down his cheek, and mascara blurs.
You know what?
Yeah, well, but perhaps he could see. Oh, I like the idea of there being like 2 young guys who look quite similar working together, for example, on the meat counter, or on who walk past or something, who start laughing at the song, not knowing that it's his song.
Could it be
like taking the piss out of it?
Could it be that he has those like as he's working on the cheese counter, he has those, as the song comes on, he has the flashbacks of him on stage, and it's like him in full new romantic.
Oh, there's
outfit.
your montage. Yeah.
Boom. He's like, and then it's like it goes from the juxtaposition of like him being centre stage, like just owning the crowd, like woo, and then
to him in exactly the same position.
Cheese counter.
Cheese counter.
He's got a cheese mallet, and he's got one arm on like a big Edam, one got up on the Edam like a monitor, and he's got a grater in the left hand, which is like the fretboard, and on his head, he's got a little sort of cheese hat instead of the new romantic.
And this woman's saying to him, "Excuse me, I would like a pound of yarg," and he's just
smearing himself with brie.
Yeah. Clint, and he's just, oh no, I reckon he's just completely blank, and he's in that moment where he's just glossed over, and he's just remembering those moments.
Over.
I think that would be a strong opener visually.
We love cheese in this country, so I think this can definitely be a hit.
I quite like the idea of doing each episode would be like maybe like they did it on the TV show Skins, where each episode is centered around that person. So you get the overarching story arc, but you get each episode is like that person's story, a bit of their backstory, like their conflicts, and then they kind of all come together. You know, like a little bit like on.
So whose episode is the first one? Is
It's got to be Clint's,
Clint.
isn't it? The protagonist, and then.
So what's the episode called? The episode needs a title then.
Maybe Nouveau Romantique or something, or Cry Over My Face, All Over My Face.
Okay,
or something like I don't know, maybe not.
Yeah,
Can it be like a pun based on cheese?
Yeah.
I can't bear it anymore.
Yeah.
Damn my life.
Yeah, that's gold. And then, so the first episode could have that like story arc of like having the flashbacks of the past, so that you could tell the story of his like meteoric failure and how he's become and how he's ended up at the cheese counter from his dizzy heights. Maybe it's got him like his drug addiction spiraling out of control and his ego growing and growing and growing, and maybe he's just like in orgies and getting blown backstage and all like.
I think he should always be quite lame though. If he was going to be addicted to drugs, it should be like a really lame drug, like snuff or or I don't know, or like or mixing like Lemsip, Cowpole, and Barocca.
My God, that's a lot of colours going on there. Lemsip, Cowpole, and Barocca. It's all the colours.
What does he call it?
What's the name of that drink though? He's got like a special cocktail name for it.
The Dirty Mary.
Wizard's Brew. Danger Juice. It's a little bit healthy, a little bit dirty.
What are the key ingredients?
The citrus bitch.
The widow's regret.
Well, because it's Lemsip and Barocca is all citrus, so I think it should be the citrus something.
Yeah,
okay.
Lemsip, Barocca.
The citrus loosener.
What's the other ingredient? Cowpole.
Yeah.
And what's
Lemsip, Barocca, and Cowpole. So the some kind of citrus name.
Citrus leveler.
Or the citrus come down. No, but it should be an opposite thing, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Citrus surprise.
Citrus rocket juice.
The CitrusRichiCane.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, CitrusRichiCane. Yeah, because it kind of forces you into a single lane carriageway of doom.
Yeah. And that's how he explains it as well.
Or how about the citrus ricochet?
Well, the CitrusRichiCane ricochet.
CitrusRichiCane shay.
RichiCane.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to put them together. The citrus RichiCane.
Yeah.
The CitrusRichiCane. Yeah.
The CitrusRichiCane.
The CitrusRichiCane.
The CitrusRichiCane.
The CitrusRichiCane.
It's not easy to say when you're fucked up on the CitrusRichiCane.
Citrus. It is really hard to say. CitrusRichiCane.
CitrusRichiCane.
CitrusRichiCane. CitrusRichiCane.
CitrusRichiCane.
When you're high, you just sit around with your mates and try and say it again and again.
I put citrus rich cane.
CitrusRichiCane.
Yeah, CitrusRichiCane.
CitrusRichiCane. I like that. CitrusRichiCane. I can say that. Yeah, that's evolved.
So just to end our bit for this bit, what is the so we've got him going into the unfamiliar situation of like bringing the band back together and having to sort of
go grovelling back
back to these people, but
Derek Cedric, Jim Mull,
Bob Mull, didn't you say?
Bob Mull, sorry, Bob Mull.
Said what was I've written it down. I wrote it down because it was good. Derek Zedrick, and Bob Moore.
Derek Cedric, and
Bob
Bob
Moore.
Moore.
Bob Moore.
Bob Moore. I think I've stolen that off the Day Today.
Bob Moore.
We'll have to change that. We'll have to avoid copyright infringement.
But he has to, in order to get them back, he has to show that he's changed and he's able to adapt to the new. So they maybe they're what how does he resolve this? How does he bring the band back together? How does he resolve the tension from, how does he, because I guess at some point he's reached a point, in my mind, he's kind of crossed, he let them all down.
Yeah.
And his ego grew beyond.
I reckon that he had a songwriting partner who was the talent, him and the other guy were the talent of the group. But I reckon maybe one by one he was so high on CitrusRichiCane that he started firing each person, one by one in a kind of CitrusRichiCane fury mayhem. Yeah.
Are you off the shit now? Are you off the CitrusRichiCane? I don't touch that shit. I do not touch that shit anymore.
I like the idea that he rewrites.
He hadn't had a cold in 30 years or something like that.
He rewrites "Cry Over My Face" brackets all over my face, and he changes the lyrics to include Derek Cedric and Robert Mull. I'm changing that for copyright infringement.
Okay.
And that's like his ode, an apology to his former bandmates, which I suppose leads us to the next question, which is, what are those lyrics going to be?
To be continued, I think.
I think that's a question.
Pick that up next time. Pick that up next time.
We've had a wild ride tonight. What have we learned tonight?
We've learned that gold medals are mostly gold.
Yeah. What percent gold are they, Joe?
99%, I reckon.
Oh wait a minute, we haven't had the finale of the.
What happened was it was a 1-1 draw. They storming it right until the very end with 1 point, and Dan and Joe, you hadn't got anything. But then at the end, you just.
I didn't get anything for Russ. I didn't get anything for that. You played me like a fiddle.
How did you get half a point? Surely half a point. I got 2.5. You round that up to 3, Russ. Everybody knows that.
Oh my god! I felt like your little puppet.
Well, no, you did well. I'm not saying you didn't do well. I'm just saying that you didn't get points. I mean, your performance was fantastic,
Thank you.
Points are about persuasion and getting the answers correct.
Yeah, Joe was my nemesis.
You're getting over it. So well done, everybody.
Okay, so what did we learn?
We'll that next time.
We learned that me and Joe were the unstoppable force of bullshit.
We learned that you shouldn't mix Barocca, Cowpole, and Lemsip because it's going to ruin your new romantic band.
Yeah.
We learned that Paul McCartney had wanking sessions with John Lennon.
Yeah. And we learned that we haven't done anything exciting in a month, so what a selection.
We learned that Stormy Daniels plays Mario Kart.
Yes, that's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Okay, well, that's been another slap back. Chat Frat. So thank you so much. I hope you can come and find us again. You can find us at slapbackchatfrat@gmail.com. We're also on Reddit and YouTube. So pop us a little visit, give us a little like, and love life. This has been Slapback Chat Frat. Thanks very much, Mr. Dave White.
Cheerio.
Cheerio. Thank you very much, Mr. Russell Garnett.
Bye, guys.
And thank you very much, Mr. Bitterbull. Peace out. I've been Dan Reed. This has been Slap Chat Frat. We'll see you again. Goodbye. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye.
Slapback Chat Frat.